Warning, this video may contain content that may not be suitable for children or anyone else that is easily offended. Strong language, graphic content, nudity, bad jokes, and a possible idiot, aka myself, may be featured in the following clip. Viewer discretion is advised. Channel is not responsible for any damages that you receive watching this video. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Zems, and welcome back to another reaction video. This video is called 3 Videos with Disturbing Backstory. This video is by Nightmare Mr. Nightmare. So if you guys have nightmares, cloud link for the videos in entirety, because I'm going to be pausing and stopping and talking through the whole thing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Maybe you're new, share my Reprisalzems, and welcome to the pros list. Thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate you guys. But for now, let's get it. Read this video with disturbing backstories. Number 3.
This was the recounted story of a Reddit user with the username BingBong1234.
Bing Bong.
For the purpose of this video, I'll just refer to him as Tom. It started when Tom was 8 years old, taking his dog for a walk through the neighborhood with his mom.
That dog thick.
It was a little later in the night, between 10 and 11 p.m. They lived next to a swampy, woodsy area on the edge of the neighborhood, which was in Lansing, Michigan. It was a very silent night except for the slight wind. Then, from down in the swamp, Tom and his mother heard somebody whistling at them. It sounded sort of like a bird, but each whistle was different enough where the lack of consistency made it human-like. The whistling would apparently fluctuate pitches, sounding higher then lower. With a concerned and slightly terrified look on her face, Tom's mother grabbed his hand and said that they should go inside the house quickly. But since this happened at a very young age, and nothing similar happened for a while, Tom forgot about it. Until 2 years later, Tom was taking his dog out again late at night, and towards the end of the walk, Tom suddenly heard the same whistling noise again. In his words, with the same pitches and same inconsistent human-like tones coming from a bush that could easily obscure a person behind it, just next to the front door. With the disturbing memory of seeing his mom, equally terrified from the same whistling 2 years earlier, looking down into the swamp at something neither of them could see, he ran inside as fast as possible. Years went by again without it happening, and eventually it slipped from Tom's mind. Fast forward to the summer of 2015, when Tom was 24 and started dating his girlfriend Sarah, who he moved to South Dakota with. For Independence Day, the couple decided to go to Pierre, South Dakota and watch the fireworks along the bank of the Missouri River. The two were parked at a free camping area behind a hospital.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't do walks at night, bro. I do not do walks at night, bro. And then especially if you're walking a dog and the dog's not reacting to the whistles and only you were hearing the whistles, yeah, that's a red flag for me. Hell no, bro. It was the Tattletale Strangler from SpongeBob. He was going to strangle, you know. But who knows what that is, bro? It could be like some Llorona, the Chupacabra. We don't know, bro. We don't know what's out there at nighttime, bro. It could have been an alligator whistling. Who knows, bro? It could be a ghost. What if it's a ghost that try to get people to come into the bushes and then they clap your cheeks? I don't know which way they'll clap them, but hey, they clap your cheeks if you walk into the wood line. I guess it's something because somebody's going to investigate. It's always that one person that needs to be made an example of, and someone's going to walk in those bushes. And if you become that person, then let me know what happened. You might be walking funny afterwards, you know what I'm saying? But hey.
People were allowed to pitch their tents, hang out, and see the fireworks up the river. Tom and his girlfriend were near the very end of the campground, and there were very few, if any, people around them. The fireworks began as it started to get dark. They sat right at the edge of the river to be able to see the fireworks. A huge thunderstorm was approaching, so the air seemed electric and the wind was picking up. The atmosphere was very eerie and unusual, as the video will display.
It looks like it.
Most of the other campers walked up the river to have a better view of the fireworks, but Sarah and Tom stayed back and were drinking beers amongst themselves and relaxing. And suddenly, the couple heard the sound of a paddle methodically dipping into the water. They saw a figure steering a canoe about 20 meters offshore. Around this time, Sarah decided to get more beers from the car, leaving Tom alone to stare at this mysterious person. And then he heard the familiar whistle that at one point haunted his childhood. His entire body froze as he was quickly covered in goosebumps. It was the exact same whistle from his childhood, more than a decade later. Tom looked at the figure, but it was way too dark to see who it could be. The person in the canoe was wearing a hat, and when they were perpendicular to the shore from Tom, they stopped paddling, turned the canoe to face directly at him, and whistled.
Bro, what if his old uncle, or what if it's his lost father or something? What did mom do? He think he Jeepers Creepers. Is that the actual whistle? Bro, look at this.
Tom looked at the person and shouted, "Who are you?" which received no reply. The person just whistled a couple more times, turned the canoe, and paddled out of sight.
He should have sniped him.
As the canoe was almost out of sight, Tom grabbed his camera and got a shot of them whistling as they paddled away. When Sarah came back from getting the beers, she was very confused as to why Tom was so freaked out. When he explained, Sarah was also completely unnerved. Tom was under the impression that they were being followed and watched, and that they were in danger, especially if he was somehow being followed for 14 years by the same person all the way to South Dakota. This raises some big questions, such as, was it a coincidence? Why was it always the same whistling noise? And if it wasn't a coincidence, who was the person? Why did they follow Tom, and where did they go? To this day, there have been no conclusive updates on the matter, and these questions remain unanswered.
That's crazy, bruh. Especially that whistling. The only whistle that used to get me so scared, bruh, hands down, was Jeepers Creepers, bruh. My brother my brother was a hoe, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. He used to do everything. He used to do the when it was like nighttime. I was little, so he used to try to scare me and stuff, and I'd sleep in my mom's room. Or he'll do the Everybody don't know Jeepers Creepers, bro. That whistle is the scariest thing known to mankind, bro. Or that one, or the song, Tiptoe Through the Window, by the Window. Like that, oh my God, bro. I cannot. I truly believe them songs is cursed, bro. 100%. I still believe that to this day. The Tiptoe Through the Window, I cannot listen to that song. Or I used to scare my roommate. He did not like the It's thing. It's like, he's like, bro, come on, stop. He's in the thing. I used to scare him all the time, bro, but hey, yeah, I can't do that. Let me know down in the comment section what things still creep you out to this day. Whether it's a song, whether it's a movie, whether it's a certain item or inanimate object. Just let me know down in the comment section what still scares you to this day.
Emma Filipoff was 26 years old when she disappeared almost 10 years ago, on November 28, 2012. She was described by friends and family as a beautiful, creative, and private girl. There's been an extensive investigation into Emma's disappearance ever since, but so far investigators have been unsuccessful in determining what happened to her. A surveillance video from the day Emma disappeared shows her in a 7-Eleven pacing around and cupping her hands around the glass door as she looked outside, as though she was being followed. She purchased a prepaid cell phone in the 7-Eleven despite never owning one before, and she hesitated before leaving.
A prepaid cell phone usually means you're being tracked by somebody. You don't want to be tracked, so you purchase a prepaid phone because it requires minutes, so you can't really be tracked on a prepaid phone. So somebody was following her. She was in trouble, 100%.
The cell phone she purchased was never activated. A little later, Emma got into a taxi, instructing the driver to go to the airport. She then got out of the taxi due to insufficient funds for the fare. She was last seen between the times of 7:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m., acting strangely in front of the Empress Hotel. According to a witness, Emma seemed confused. He saw her at a crosswalk, refusing to cross the street. He asked her if she was feeling okay, and asked her if she was being followed due to her paranoid mannerisms. Emma said she was okay. So, not knowing what to do, he made a phone call to the police. Police showed up and found her shoeless, and they questioned her for a total of 45 minutes and then left. Investigators later found her vehicle the following morning, parked at the Chateau Victoria parking lot, containing all of her belongings, including her laptop, books, her passport, and library card. Investigators found a CCTV footage clip from a local YMCA 5 days before Emma went missing. In the clip, she walked in and out through the door 6 times, peering out through the glass.
Yeah, she's definitely being followed. I got something to say after this video is over. Yeah. That's crazy how scary it looks when you're watching somebody and you know they're in trouble. I wonder why she didn't want to say anything.
One possible person of interest is in CCTV footage from a Vancouver store. The 2014 surveillance video shows a man in a Gastown clothing store holding a purple poster in his right hand. The store owner reported that the man was irritated and claiming Emma was his girlfriend and that she wanted to be left alone. Police have not yet been able to identify him.
Wow, his face is clear as day in the video, bruh. She definitely was being followed. So my thing is, did she leave that hotel earlier and go somewhere else and then come back? So my thing is, if you have a car, why didn't you take it, right? So I'm thinking maybe she ran out of gas and didn't have any money because she was in a taxi and she had insufficient funds. Why are you loading around all that stuff if you have a vehicle? Was she staying at the Empress Hotel, or was she just parking there and living out of her car? I wish I knew more information about that, because this dude don't just go around saying this is my girlfriend, she want to be left alone. She don't have no cell phone or anything, but how was you getting in contact with her? You out there looking for her? Did she have a mental problem? I don't know, but I just don't understand how people, like, police can be like, oh, this masked man was identified, but this dude's face is clear as day. So you saying nobody knew who this man was? I just don't understand it, bro. I just don't know why some cases they can just look at a camera, put it on the news, and somebody be like, oh, it's this person. But they can't do it with certain people. Like, people just won't notice them. It's not, he had distinct features. He had a beard. He had 2 sleeves, you know, done, like tattoo sleeves. So it's just like, at the same time, bro, I wish she would have just said what was wrong, bro, because she was already being followed. But good job on the police officers finally. Most time on the police officer videos, they're like, oh, they didn't do anything. But they questioned her for 45 minutes. And if she keeps saying the same thing over and over, you can't help nobody that don't want to be helped. So who knows at this point? I'm thinking it was probably that dude, because she was running from somebody. She was hiding from somebody. And whoever she was hiding from, she was terrified of, because she kept walking in and out 6, 7, 8 times out the building. So she kept seeing a car that may look like that vehicle, may not have. They should check more cameras to see if that dude was even near her or passed through the buildings that she passed through. Just check every CCTV, but then again, you wouldn't even know where to start, so that's understandable. Number 1.
Footage you're about to watch was of an episode of the old game show, The Dating Game, and on the surface it seems completely normal. All the contestants seem to be regular people you'd expect to see in a typical cheesy 1970s dating show.
I remember this.
However, one person on the stage was not who he seemed, and it was later found out this episode was filmed amid a gruesome killing spree. He was the winner of the episode, and his name was Rodney Alcala, a serial killer who victimized up to 130 women. This was part of the episode.
And then people be like, Ted Bundy. No, it was worse people than Ted Bundy and I forgot his name. I can't think of his name right. Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like it's a lot of worse people, bro. That's why I don't understand. It's some serial killers, bro, that was in the 50s, 60s, but people be like, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer and this and that, bro. It's worse people out there, bro.
Baxter number 1 is a successful photographer who got his start when his father found him in the dark room at the age of 13, fully developed. Between takes, he might find him skydiving or motorcycling. Please welcome Rodney Alcala.
Look, he just looks smooth. You would never think.
He was introduced as Bachelor Number 1, a successful photographer who enjoyed skydiving and motorcycling in his spare time.
Killer number 1.
A Bachelor number 1. I am serving you for dinner.
Oh.
What are you called and what do you look like?
I'm called the Banana, and I look really good.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Peel me.
Smooth.
With his suggestive quips and impressions, he won the contest, scoring a date with the Bachelorette, Cheryl Bradshaw. But in the years that followed his appearance on the show, Alcala would come to be known as the dating game killer.
Will that date be Bachelor number 1, Bachelor number 2, or Bachelor number 3? Who gets the date?
Well, I like the news. I'll pick one.
Number 1, Bachelor number 1. All right.
Smooth criminal.
He's a skydiver, so he's got a lot of nerve. He's into motorcycling. He's also a fine photographer. Say hello to Rodney Alcala. Rodney, come on, say hello.
He's like, ha, just kidding.
He was convicted of the murders of 6 women and a 12-year-old girl, with some of the crimes being committed before his TV appearance. Investigators estimated his victims could be as many as 130.
Woo!
Alcala died at age 77 while on death row. He committed his first known crime on September 25th, 1968, when an eyewitness in Los Angeles called police after watching him lure an 8-year-old girl named Tali Shapiro into his apartment. Tali was walking to school when Alcala offered her a ride, but he took her to his apartment instead. When the police arrived, the girl was found alive, but Alcala had fled. To evade the resulting arrest warrant, he left the state and enrolled in the NYU Film School, using the name John Berger. With his good looks and charm, he persuaded many young women to pose in photographs for him, most of whom are presumed to have been victims of his, and apparently a lot of them remain unidentified. In fact, you can easily find these pictures online. In 1971, he obtained a counseling job at a New Hampshire arts camp for children. The FBI added Alcala to its list of 10 most wanted fugitives, and a few months later, 2 children attending the arts camp noticed his photo on an FBI poster at the post office. Alcala was arrested and extradited to California. He only served 3 years in prison for this crime because Shapiro's family had relocated to Mexico and her parents refused to have her testify at the trial. The years following, he would be in and out of jail, and the list of his victims would grow longer and longer. Somehow, Alcala was able to make it on the dating show despite his criminal history. And of course, his record went unmentioned during his appearance. After Cheryl Bradshaw chose Rodney Alcala, the two were awarded tennis lessons, complete with outfits, and a trip to Magic Mountain theme park.
First, you'll receive tennis lessons from expert Naomi Besa of the famous Kirkwood Tennis Club. That starts.
The two were then escorted to a place where the show would allow the match to talk and get to know each other. And it was during this time that Cheryl Bradshaw started to get a bad feeling about Rodney overall, describing him as creepy and weird. The arranged date after the show never happened because Bradshaw called the show's office after filming and told the contestant coordinator that she didn't want to go because of the weird vibes that came off of him.
She said, Ellen, I can't go out with this guy. There's weird vibes that are coming off of him. He's very strange. I'm not comfortable. Is that going to be a problem? And of course I said no.
The next year, on June 20th, 1979, 12-year-old Robin Samso of Huntington Beach vanished while riding a bike to a ballet lesson. A Forest Service employee later found her remains, scattered across a remote ravine in Los Angeles. Robin's friends told police that a stranger had photographed them on the beach the day she disappeared. Authorities obtained a warrant to arrest Alcala based on his record, his known habit of photographing children, and indications that he frequented the area that the girl's body was found. Rodney Alcala's DNA would later link him to the deaths of multiple other women. In 2010, he was convicted of 5 counts of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to death, but after New York City investigators began probing his potential ties to unsolved killings in the city in the 1970s, he was also charged for the murders of 2 more women, which he pleaded guilty to. The actual amount of disappearances and murders that Rodney is responsible for remain unknown. It's crazy to think how Cheryl Bradshaw's gut instincts that something was off about Rodney and her refusal to go through with their date probably saved her life.
Trying to tell y'all, man, trust your gut. That gut will not lie to you. I don't care how beautiful she or he is, or, don't ignore your gut feeling, man. Just go ahead and take your gut's word for it. But this video is my Mr. Nightmare, so you guys have to reach to Super Red Box. Click on the link to watch the video entirety, because I was pausing to stop it and talking through the whole thing. If you guys are channel Reprisalzems, and welcome to the Crow's Nest, man. Yo, that's crazy, man. It's really crazy that the family moved to Mexico and they didn't want their daughter to testify, but that could have been the nail in the coffin, and I could have saved 7 or 8 lives. I understand that you don't want your families, publicity and stuff like that on the news, and you don't want people saying, oh, they're lying, and it's a lot of stress and stuff, especially for a kid. I get that, the parents made a choice, but you have to think, if this dude is a predator, are you really about to let this dude get away and go prey on other people's children and kill people, which he did. He got away with 130-something women, and he killed 5 that they know of. And this dude's crazy. And the fact that they didn't check this dude's background and let him on TV, he was on national TV picking out prey. He was so good at it, he knew he was going to win, bro. He was smooth. He had the pickup lines, he had the comebacks, he had everything to make him attractive dude. He had long hair, he had a nice smile. It was bound to happen. Just like Ted Bundy, just like Jeffrey Dahmer, and just like some of these other serial killers, man, that look good, and that's all you need to do is just look good. People think if you look good, oh, he's too good looking to be creepy. Those be the creepiest dudes, besides myself, Nah, but yeah, man, that's crazy. I just don't see how people can kill people without people doing something to them. I understand if your mom was in danger or something like that, this person tried to kill your mom and you kill them, yeah, I see that. Or they try to kill you, I see that. But just to see somebody be like, damn, I want to kill that person for no reason. I will never understand it. World is a dark, dark place. And we don't even see half of the stuff that goes on, bro. That's why I give credits to detectives and police officers, because that stuff be messing people up, bro. Some of the stuff that they see and some of the stuff that happens in front of them, bro, it's scary. I sometimes want to be a detective, but then I realize, can I handle that? Can I go to sleep at night? Will I have nightmares? Will I get PTSD from seeing people's heads chopped off and, infants dead with shotgun shell? I don't know if I can handle all that, bro. It's really crazy to think about. I always try to challenge you guys to kind of think on the outside, you know what I'm saying? Think about the people that their last minute, or last couple of minutes of living, bro. What did they feel? What did they see? What did they think about? I can't imagine just someone coming into your life and then taking your life and telling you you're gonna die today. That's what I tell you guys. I can't. I'll die fighting, bro. I'm just gonna just take every situation like, you're gonna kill me. And I'm really gonna let this person kill me and determine when I leave this earth? When is the last time I see my family? Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you be minding your own business and you get killed. It's just, but man, if you guys enjoyed, man, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, let me know down in the comment section. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. We're almost to 6,500, so keep doing what you guys are doing, man. Keep sharing the channel, and hopefully in the future we can implement some more gameplays, implement some more other reaction channels, and maybe even collab with somebody. I don't really know how that works. I'll probably start looking around and see if I can find anybody to collab with and just try something new, you know, and try to expand and whatnot. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.